Hello, I'm doing a movie review, and the movie I want to review is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, Halloween 3, this movie, when it came out, was pretty much hated by fans of the first two Halloween movies, and even now there are still people who still don't like this movie, but this movie over the years has definitely gotten a cult following, and it definitely deserves that cult following because this is actually a good movie. Now, Halloween 3, like I said, a lot of people don't like this movie, but the main reason people don't like this movie is, in my opinion, not really a good reason not to like the movie. The main reason people don't like this movie is because Michael Myers is not in this. This is actually a completely different story than the first two Halloween movies, because basically John Carpenter, after Halloween 2, he got this idea that each film in the series was going to be a different story. Like, each film in the series was going to be a different story, only it was going to be set on Halloween. So, like, the first two movies were kind of like a two-part story, and the rest of the films after this were going to be their own individual stories, only they were going to be Halloween related. And honestly, that would have been a really cool idea. Like, that would have been interesting to see how that would have turned out. Like, because apparently every year they were going to make another one of these movies. And honestly, I think that would have been a really cool idea, but unfortunately the idea kind of bit the dust because this movie did not do well when it came out, and that was because people were expecting this to be like a direct continuation to Halloween 2, so people were expecting Michael Myers in this movie, but I think people were definitely disappointed, and I can understand why people would have been disappointed, but really, the fact that Michael Myers isn't in this movie is no reason to say the movie sucks, because, really, the only criticism I've heard for this movie is that Michael Myers is not in it. It's okay if you don't like the movie, but if you don't like the movie, criticize it for a real reason. Like, give valid criticisms for why you don't like the movie. Like, let's say you don't like the plot line of the movie, or you don't like the acting, or you don't think it's very well made. If you don't like the movie for those reasons, then criticize it for those reasons. Like, those would be valid criticisms. Like, don't just say the movie sucks simply because Michael Myers isn't in it. And I think at this point, even people who haven't seen the movie yet, know Michael Myers is not going to be in this movie. But Halloween 3 is actually a good movie in my opinion, but I can understand some people not liking it because it does have a pretty weird plot line, but if you don't like the movie, like, if you don't like it for the plot line, then criticize it for that reason. Like, don't criticize it simply because Michael Myers is not in it. But, basically the movie begins where this guy is rushed into the hospital, and he's holding a Halloween mask, and he starts ranting on about how they're gonna kill us all. And what happens is, the main character of the movie is this doctor played by Atkins, and what happens is later, this guy comes into the hospital and kills the guy who was holding the Halloween mask, and then this guy goes out into the parking lot and gets into his car and pours gasoline all over himself and lights himself on fire. What happens is Atkins' character later meets the daughter of this guy who was murdered at the hospital, and what happens is him and the guy's daughter are now trying to investigate and try to see what is actually going on, and it turns out that the Halloween mask that the guy was holding was made by a company called Shamrock, and what happens is, like, you see commercials for Shamrock Shamrock all over the TV, and they have this like theme song, which the theme song that they have is probably one of the things that I think people remember most about the movie. It goes like, happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. I know that was horrible, me singing that song, but I mean, you know, that's basically what the theme song is, and what happens is, it turns out that kids absolutely love these commercials, and they seem to love these masks, and what happens is, Tom Atkins' character and this girl go to this small town where the factory that makes the masks are at, and what happens is they later find out that this company, Silver Shamrock, is actually run by witches, and it turns out that all these Halloween masks are cursed, and what happens is on Halloween, these masks will basically kill all the children wearing them, and it turns out that that this company has a plan to basically slaughter like half the children in America, and you know, and it's supposed to be like some kind of sacrifice or something, and you know, so the film has a very weird plot line, like, you know, all these witches are planning some kind of mass sacrifice of these children on Halloween night. It has a weird plot line, but I do like the movie, though, and you could almost look at the movie as almost like a satire on how the media almost like on how the media affects children sometimes and affects people in general. You could look at it in that way, you know, but it does have a very bizarre plot line, you know, but I do like the movie, though, but I can understand people not liking the movie for its plot line, but like I said, if you don't like the movie, criticize it because you don't like the plot line. Don't criticize it simply because Michael Myers isn't in it. But yeah, Halloween 3 I think is a good movie. You know, and really, I do think it would have been interesting to see how the series would have turned out if they went with this idea that each film in the series was going to be a different story. Now, the film is produced by John Carpenter and Debra Hill, but the movie is written and directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who would also go on to direct the 1990 adaptation of Stephen King's It. But yeah, Halloween 3 is a movie that I personally would recommend. Just keep in mind, Michael Myers isn't in it, and it does have a pretty weird plot line, but I do recommend the movie, though, and bye.